Angel Reese, Candace Parker. Parker, kill the story. Angel Reese ain't going nowhere. The Chicago Sky and the foundation of the Chicago Sky is Angel Reese. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. How we doing? How we doing? Candace Parker and Angel Reese. Candace Parker needs to kill the story. The back and forth feud with Angel Reese, the criticism of Angel Reese play, Candace Parker's out of line. Candace Parker's an icon. Why would you stoop so low to give so much criticism to a player that has no identification with you but refuses to wear your jersey or wear a T-shirt because you openly criticize the player? Now, Candace Parker, I'll tell you something. Great basketball player, but never was great with the WNBA and never hung around to build the WNBA. Candace Parker went over to the NBA and had her focus on the NBA. And you got a lot of this going on now where players who have played in the WNBA, left the WNBA, went over to the NBA, and now want to come back and be a part of something. But you didn't build it, right? You didn't build it. You played your career, and you went on to something bigger and greater. Why do I say this one here? Kill the story. Candace Parker is the Adidas basketball grassroots director, 100%. Now, this is where you get a Reebok player, and you're going to get a Adidas player, but Candace is going to bash the Reebok player, but show love and unconditional to the Adidas player. Who's the Adidas player? Aaliyah Boston, right? So Candace is going to go on there and is going to talk to Aaliyah Boston, who is under contract with Adidas. Now, if Candace Parker wanted to do something good, you got Kelsey Mitchell over there without a shoe contract. Basically, you could do some good for the game, for the etiquette of what has been built with the Indiana Fever. But attacking Angel Reese, and folks, let me explain what I mean here, because I'm not a fan of attacking a player because I got so much respect for the parent. So really, you're not attacking Angel Reese. You're attacking Angel, the mom, right? And you have no credibility to go in there and do that because she's got two ball players, both of them, one in the WNBA and one's going to be rising up making the NBA, right? So you don't have any authority to go in there and try to bash the child, right? You got more knowledge and wisdom. And here's what gets me about Parker, because Parker's kind of like up there. And, but, Parker's trying to own a WNBA team. Wants to bring one in Nashville, right? That's where all this confusion is coming around. And you got a situation where you got a child, Angel Reese has had a great season, okay? And when you look at it about how to treat a teammate, let me tell you something about Candace Parker. Candace Parker's privileged, folks. You want to talk about privilege? Candace Parker's very privileged, right? Played for Pat Summitt, Tennessee. Folks, I sat across. Pat Summitt was down there to get Vicky Ball. I sat with Pat for 2 hours, right? 2 hours talking basketball, talking defense, right? And with Candace Parker, she was very controlled because Pat didn't have to do a lot of yelling. What I noticed about Pat had a death stare from the OK Corral. And if you were doing something wrong and she pinpointed her eyes on you, you knew what you had to do better. But Candace Parker played with a lot of McDonald's All-Americans, a lot of talent. Angel Reese is sitting here, guys, with no position. I saw the exit interviews of the Chicago Sky player. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Not one of those Chicago Sky players said, I'll be back next year to win a championship. Not one said, I'll be back to win a WNBA championship. You know what that tells me? They're along for the ride. And when you get in this place here, what Candace Parker's going to understand is brands are here now. She played when there was no brand, right? So now it's whose brand is going to be the bigger brand. And I told you guys, once you get the grassroots, you get the NIL, the college coaches in the NCAA, I tell you, they're going to have the worst time ever because they don't matter anymore. The coaches in football don't matter anymore, NCAA coaches, because the players are making more than the coach, right? So when you have a player making more than the coach, how are you going to be able to discipline that player? It's a new game. These women who are coming in now have their own brands, their own fans. And if you think for 1 minute, I'm going to let you destroy my brand, which is what Candace Parker was doing, destroying Angel Reese's brand with jealousy or whatever. And folks, I'll take you back to the deep water. I mean, I look at Lisa Leslie, and I'll tell you this: when the L.A. Sparks got going, you know how the L.A. Sparks, Lisa Leslie got a lot of information. Michael Cooper was coach, right? Michael Cooper took that job and became the coach, and really put a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, going back to these players who played in the NBA. But one thing you don't do is you don't really go out there and attack a baby. You're a grown woman, Candace Parker. That's a baby. That's a child, right? And all of a sudden now you want to go back and forth and you want to do a media tour, right? This is what the women do. They want to do a media tour of how to be a great teammate. Folks, let me tell you something. Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders of the San Francisco 49ers had two different brands. They didn't get along. I could walk you down a list of about 10 players in the NBA who played with people for years and didn't get along and didn't speak to them. I mean, I've seen situations in NBA locker rooms where guys play a whole season, never talk to each other the entire season. Because you know why? They don't want to get involved with that player, right? And Angel Reese has all mid-level players. All mid-level players. Chicago's been around. But not one of those players in the exit route came back and said, I'm going to win a WNBA championship for the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese tells you straight up, I'm trying to build something here. I'm trying to make something out of this. And the answer came, and the Chicago Sky fans gave the Chicago Sky Mike Walter the answer. They don't want Jeff P. If you get to the point when the fans are cheering on the last game of the season, fire you, folks, that's bad business. And everybody can try to sweeten the pot. Candace Parker, kill the story. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. Angel Reese, Miss Angel, ain't going nowhere. And I'll tell you this, call Money Mike. Like Top Gun, when they didn't want to fly with, Tom Cruise in the end with Maverick, he said, you know what, give Money Mike a call, Angel. I'll fly with you, right? Because at the end of the day, Angel Reese has got a team, doesn't need to be at an exit meeting, doesn't need to show up. They've already had their exit meeting. What do you guys think they were doing for the last 3 days? They've been talking and talking and talking. We talked enough. You go your way, I go my way. Angel Reese ain't going nowhere. Candace Parker, kill the story, okay, and let these young babies grow, okay, because at the end of the day, there's more pressure on them than there ever was you. And when Candace Parker played, folks, there was no social media. Okay, so the only way you see a Tennessee game, and you might catch it on NBC or something, that was it. Okay, this is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. Angel Reese ain't going nowhere. All things are possible to those who believe. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast.